Hi everyone, thanks for choosing to practice with me today. We'll practice the earth sequence. There's 4 parts to the earth sequence. So I'm just going to run through some very common contraindications with you before we practice. This isn't absolutely everything, so if you do have a medical condition, illness, injury, if you're pregnant or if you've recently given birth, then do check with your regular yoga teacher or speak to your doctor before you practice. Nothing we do together should cause any pain or discomfort or increase any pain that you might already be in. So if that's the case, just stop practicing this particular sequence and you can look for something different to do. So the most common things that will come up for you during this are blood pressure. If you've got high blood pressure, anytime we take the arms up, just keep yours at shoulder level and below. If you have low blood pressure, then you might find that you get a little bit lightheaded when we've gone down into a forward fold and then come up again. So just really take your time with that, and you can pause halfway so that your body acclimatizes and then come up the rest of the way, really taking your time. I'm going to offer you a forward fold in the 3rd part of the sequence. So if you have osteoporosis or osteopenia, then you can just miss that part out and stay catching up again when we join you at the point that you're at. Also, if you have any slipped disc, bulging discs, or the disc issues, then don't go into that forward fold for the purpose of this sequence. Also, the forward fold might be contraindicated if you have detached retina or some other eye problems. So again, just avoid having the head downwards for that. I think those are the main things. Other things will be a bit more obvious, so if you're feeling pain, for example, in your knees or in your back, then you can either skip those parts out, or you can just pause at the place where it's last comfortable, and then when we join back in at that point, you can continue with the sequence. I think that's everything for the earth sequence, those 4 parts. So let's go into the sequence now and see how it feels. I've just done a short couple of rounds of each one, so you're very welcome to do a couple of rounds of the first one, pause, and then continue to flow through that. You can do it for 10-15 minutes and then play for the next part, and again continue on, pause, and then pick up the next bits. If you want to, you could just do part 1 and keep repeating it. It's a really lovely part of the sequence and helps you to feel into the boundaries of the space around you. So I hope you enjoy this sequence, and let's go and have a practice together. Hi, you're very welcome to join me in the earth sequence. To begin with, place your feet a little bit wider than the hips and just experiment until you feel a steadiness. I'm also turning my toes out here so that when I bend my knees, they go over the centre of the feet and don't drop inwards towards one another. So just have a little play around with your foot position, the bend of the knees, with the angle of the feet, until you feel some steadiness. And I'm going to give you some guidance with the breath here. If it's more comfortable for you, you're welcome to just do the movement on its own. And actually this whole sequence could be practiced seated, just working with arms or arms and breath. So to begin with, you can let the knees bend, just checking again each time they bend that they're going over the centre of the feet. Cup your hands just below your navel. You've got the option here either to keep them separated, or if it feels better for you or you want to experiment with it, you could interlace the fingers each time you return to this position. So I'm going to start with mine slightly separated. And maybe just become aware of your breath. Perhaps you can feel some of your breath down here in the abdomen. And on your next inhale, you could let the hands rise upwards towards the heart, keeping the shoulders soft and straightening the legs. As you exhale, turn the palms towards the earth, bend the knees and press the hands downwards. On the next inhale, stretch the palms away from you, making space between the chest and hands. until the arms come all the way up above the head. Again, the legs straighten. And as you exhale, circling the arms around, bending the knees. So that's the whole of part one. Let's continue to loop that so you can start to get into your own flow with it. And anytime your breath is a different pace to mine, follow your own breath. I'll still be here if you want me to be an anchor for you to check back, to see where I'm up to, but you're also welcome just to go at your own pace. So we begin with the inhale, the legs straighten, the hands rise upwards. And the exhale allows the knees to bend and the hands to come back down. The inhale, stretching the arms away. I like to root into my feet here as I reach up. And breathe out to circle the arms back round. And let's go for one more round like this. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Lovely. So the second part to this, there's an invitation to go down into a deeper bend of the knees or a squat. I'm just going to show you that in isolation first, and then we'll put it into the sequence. So when we come down into the squat, your squat might look like one of a few things. So it could be that the elbows come to the knees and you pause in this position, or it might be comfortable to bring hands to the floor with the heels lifted. It might be that your heels come to the floor when you're in this position. So there's a movement down towards earth. It doesn't really matter which of those versions you take, and you might want to experiment at some point with all three of them just to see how it feels different in your body. Okay, so let's put that into the sequence. The rest of it is pretty similar. So the hands start off in this cupped position and the knees in that grounded bend. The inhale is the same, hands rise up, legs straighten. And here we bring the squat in the exhale, the hands come downwards. You can take any of those three spots, elbows to thighs, hands to floor, either with heels up or down. Then as you inhale, root through the feet. Use that earthing power to bring yourself all the way up. And as you exhale, circle the arms, bend the knees. So again, feel free to go at your own pace here. Inhale. Exhale into your version of the squat. Inhale. And exhale. Great, let's do that one more time. And just take a moment to check in, see how things are feeling, what's different. Maybe there's places that feel a bit freer, more open. So for the third part here, you can bring the feet into more of a symmetrical pointing forwards position, if that's comfortable on your knees. So some knees, even in this kind of position, just need a slight outward rotation, so you can see what feels comfortable, but it's not quite as outwardly rotated as the previous two. So this one's going to take us into a forward fold. If you've got low blood pressure or you feel lightheaded on the way up, just take a pause halfway up. Again, I'm just going to show you the piece that's different here before we put it together. So I'm going to invite you to exhale and take the hands forwards. And you can notice here that I'm really lengthening my back, and I can feel already that there's some core tone coming on here. So I'm drawing my belly button a little bit in for support. And at some point, coming down into this forward fold, you might find that the back of the legs pull, and you just need to release them with a bend of the knee. So when you're all the way down, you might want to let go of the head. When we prepare to come back up, we'll bend the knees, again rooting through the feet, and imagining the tailbone becomes heavy, the navel draws in, and we're really coming up from this support of the ground. So you're not pulling up from the middle of the back, but you're using the ground and this pivot of support here right at the core of your body. Okay, so let's put that into the sequence. So beginning with an inhale, hands rise upwards, the legs stay straight here for now. As you exhale, send the hands away from you. Use this movement to lengthen the spine, start to feel the belly button draw in. And you can take this all the way down into a forward fold, maybe releasing the head at the bottom. You can bend the knees a little. Then do bend the knees and root into the feet as you inhale, stretching through the palms to come up. Imagine that heavy tailbone. And as you exhale, release the arms. Lovely, let's repeat again. Inhale. Exhale, find that length and space. Keep going until you come into your forward fold. Release the head and the face. Bend the knees, tailbone heavy. Inhale, reaching the arms forwards, palms away from you. And exhale, circle the arms. Great. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale. Bend the knees, use the core as you inhale to come all the way up. And exhale, circle of completion. Lovely. Just take a moment again to check in, see what's new. And then the final part, the fourth part here, we set the legs again a little bit differently, and I'll turn to the side so that you can see me. So 1 foot forwards, 1 foot back. You can choose which way around you start this. And again, you want that steady base. This is the earth sequence. It's about grounding and steadiness. So you might experiment and notice that if you have 1 foot directly in front of the other, it's a bit like being on a tightrope. So it's a bit more of a balancing challenge. So for this one, just having that back foot slightly separated. Again, the hands can cup or interlace in your starting position. And I'll talk you through this so you can join me with it if you like as we flow with this whole part of this sequence. And we'll do it again a few times. So we can start with a bent front leg. If you're familiar with Warrior One posture, you might recognise the stance. Inhale, again, draws the hands up towards the heart and the leg straightens. Exhale, turning the palms down, bending that front knee. Inhale, keep the knee bent as you stretch the arms away and up. And exhale to circle the arms and straighten the leg. Good, let's go again. Inhale. Exhale, bend the knee, press down with the hands. Keep that back foot anchored as you inhale. The stretch all the way from that back heel up through to the heels of the hands. And as you exhale, circle the arms and straighten the leg. One more round. Inhale. And exhale, bend the knee, hands press down. Inhale, stretching the arms away and up, anchor the back heel. And exhale, circle the arms and straighten the front leg. Good. And then just come back to the neutral or central position. Just check in with your body, see if anything needs to be eased out. I find my ankle is asking for a little bit of a rotation, a bit of a stretch. Just going to balance that both sides. And then let's switch over to do the second side, finding that steady stance. Yours might look a bit different to mine. You can just explore where the best position for you is, that you feel steady, you feel grounded. Then cupping the hands to begin. Inhale, floating the hands upwards. Straighten the front knee and exhale, hands press down, bending the knee. Keeping that knee bent as you inhale, stretch the arms away and up. And as you exhale, circle the arms and straighten the leg. Good, and again, inhale. Exhale, bend the knee. I like to imagine a coffee plunger here with the hands. Inhale, stretching the arms up, maintain that connection to the back heel. And exhale to circle the arms, straighten that front leg. Good, final round, inhale. Exhale, hands down, bend the knee. Inhale, maintain that leg position. Stretch the arms up, open the chest. And exhale, circle the arms around and straighten the front leg. Lovely. Return back to centre. Take again that moment to check in, to tune in. Attend to any signals from your body. And let's seal the practice there. You might like to bring the hands over that navel centre. And take a couple of breaths. Aware of this connection from your centre all the way down to the earth.